Okay, so today I am going to be trying to get the double golden berry, which is Chapter 1A, Deathless and Dashless. Ignore that the game's in Everest. I'm not cheating. I just don't... My control... Oop! Kind of forgot how Dashless works. My controller doesn't work for some reason if I'm not using Everest. This might take a while. I don't have a live split timer for this one. I don't think it's going to be necessary. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take, but also live split just doesn't work for me anymore. It just kind of stopped showing up one day. Like, I can launch it, but the timer just doesn't show up. I tried reinstalling it. It changed nothing. I made the hard jump and then just kind of panicked because I didn't expect to make it that easily. I mentioned this earlier, but I have no idea how long this will actually take. I mean, doing either one... I just kind of forgot about the first step of that jump. Doing either one of these individually isn't too difficult. I just did the same thing twice in a row. Anyway. I was originally planning... Turns out I wasn't. Turns out I wasn't planning on doing anything. No, I was originally planning on jumping on the bandwagon and playing the... Let me see if I got this down. I have to stand still. It's the Idol Gacha Horse Girl Racing game. Anime. Forgot to throw the anime tag in there. I was originally planning on jumping on the bandwagon and playing that. And then I watched like 10 minutes of Northern Lion playing it and was like, nah, man. Nah, man, I can't do that. Also, I'm just doing this on like my main save file because there's... you have to complete the game for the golden berries to even be unlocked. There we go. Okay, yeah, that bottom is actually way easier. Again, this is another tough room, but it's not like you don't really die in this one. You can just catch yourself. Or you can just walk off the edge. I guess that's always an option. Alright. Pulling out the Notes app. Here it is. It's actually a Google Doc. It's my Notes app, and then I copy it to a Google Doc whenever I remember to. From now on, every death, you're getting something that I wrote down in my Notes app, which could be anything from a video idea that I will never, or at the very least, have not made yet, to a bit that I couldn't possibly, like a bit that I couldn't make work, to just something that I saw. Sometimes I just see stuff. And I write it down. Because it's interesting. Or mind-boggling, or whatever. But you're gonna get one every time I die. For example, the first one here is a tweet I saw back when it was still called Twitter. Or maybe it was after the change. Let's be honest, I just still call it Twitter. Shrek was never a racism metaphor. Shrek 2 was simply making fun of a specific trend in 2000-2010 cinematography. Movies where a family doesn't accept that their kid's partner is black. So, you know, sit and stew on that one for a bit. Alright, didn't expect the next one to come so fast. This next one just says, I'm gonna Freaky Friday myself into a grave. So, do with that information what you will. Whoops. Okay, next one. This one just says, punishment only acceptable when given to the British. There's no, like, punishment written down. It's just, like, I guess the concept of a punishment that's like, hey, you can use this to punish the British, but no one else. Oh, here's one. This one's a video idea that I never ended up making. I might eventually. Can I beat Street Fighter 6 without losing my goddamn mind? I was playing Street Fighter 6 and would constantly get tilted and was like also in the middle of editing some challenge run video. Okay, well, didn't even get to finish that thought. Here's the next one, also a video title. See if you can figure out what I was doing when I came up with this title. Can I hunt a single monster without some other freak showing up and killing me? This is in Monster Hunter Worlds, by the way. Apparently I didn't write down in Monster Hunter. Would have had to workshop that title a little bit. There's also significantly more curse words in that title. 2 more YouTube titles for the next 2 deaths, and then it's back to the just like bad jokes. Okay, next YouTube title. Can I beat Minecraft? I've played Minecraft for probably going on 10,000 hours. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but honestly, probably not much of an exaggeration. But it's still probably high 4 digits. And I've never beaten the Ender Dragon in vanilla Minecraft. I have in, like, modded Minecraft, where you can, like, one-shot the dragon with some funky magic or tech, but even that was with other people. I've never done it solo. Never done a solo vanilla Minecraft playthrough where I beat the dragon. And then the last video title on this list, Celeste didn't change my life. Topical, because I'm playing Celeste. But no, I was thinking about that one because I was like, I see so many people who, well, I say so many people. There's like a couple, at least, like videos that I've seen that are like, hey, here's how Celeste changed my life. And I was just like, oh no, I mean, it's a good game, but never really changed my life. But also, here is the next one, because apparently I died real fast there. Going absolutely Galapagos mode on my turtle. This town ain't two enough for the big of us. Alternatively, this town ain't both enough for the big of us. Okay, so this one. This one is a crossover between a game that I happened to be playing and a movie that I just happened to have watched. It's The Beach That Makes You Trans. The movie, of course, being Old, with The Beach That Makes You Old, and Dark Souls 2 with the coffin on the beach, the gender change coffin. Then there's The Natural Remedy to Life. That's the next one on the list. Again, most of these don't actually like make any sense. I just write down things. Like, what does the natural remedy to life mean? And a lot of them probably had bigger ideas, but I just forgot what they were. Like the one after this. In fact, there's quite a few after this where it's like I remember what they were about. But as for natural remedy to life, death, I guess? No. Okay, well, so this next one just says Heaven or Las Vegas. And that one is, like, it's the Cocteau Twins with the song Heaven or Las Vegas. And, like, that's a really easy choice, right? It's like, yeah, maybe Vegas isn't exactly, like, the best place. Maybe it is, I've never been. Don't really plan on it. The other option is being dead, though. That next death brings us to... This one just says, funnier with drugs. Because, like, imagine me on ketamine. Damn. Okay, so this next one, I'm gonna have to sit here. And, like, I can't make progress during this because I don't want to mess up my explanation of this one. Because it needs an explanation. It just says kids are easy. And hear me out. I know that sounds horrible right off the bat. But there was I think now deleted, it might still exist, but I'm pretty sure I deleted it. It was a YouTube short. Back, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was just last year, Halloween. I was doing a bunch of like horror games, and there was a Ouija board in one of the games. And I just had it, like I was like, oh, I think the ghost is trying to tell me something. And I just had it go around and say Among Us. So I uploaded that as a YouTube short with the hashtag Among Us. And it got like 5,000 views overnight. And a bunch of comments that were just like clearly kids. And I was like, oh wow. Like just pandering to kids and making kids content is so easy. And then for some reason decided to write that down in my notes app as kids are easy. Next one says, don't trust me with blades. I've just cut off parts of my body before with knives. Most of them have healed. Like, you know, I say cut off. Technically, I haven't cut off any parts because they've all been sewn back on because they weren't, like, fully cut off. They were just, like, you know, mostly. The most prominent one is my ring finger on my right hand. The tip of my finger is a notably different shape from the rest of my finger because there was a large couple month period of time where it was it was only being connected by some stitches. Other times I've just like gotten big cuts. One time I made like a protector for the edge of a blade so that you could, you know, use the blade, swing it around, toss it up in the air. I was a dumb teenager. Now I'm a dumb adult. But I was like, oh, I can toss this up in the air and I can, like, if I accidentally grab the blade, it won't cut me. And I was like, here, let me prove that this won't cut me. And so I just smacked the knife right onto my hand. It had a big cut on my hand because it just went straight through the protector and into my hand. So again, don't trust me with blades. No, that one's done. What's next? This one says, let me be a bug. Which I actually didn't remember, but then remembered after that. So like for a second there I was like, what does that mean? But then I remembered exactly what let me be a bug means, but I cannot tell you because it's a secret surprise. Next one says Black Betty parody. You know the song Black Betty by Ram Jam? And there was a parody of it. I mean, I say a parody, it wasn't like popular or anything. But a kid I knew in high school made a parody of Black Betty. Whoops. Okay, let me just finish this and then go to the next one. He made a parody about Black Betty. Specifically, like the theme of it was about how our high school was 95% white. It was not the most appropriate song, let's say. But for this kid, it was surprisingly, let's just say that he didn't use any gamer words, and that is honestly a little surprising. And then this next one for the death that just happened, it just says crime. And you know how sometimes these, like, were definitely supposed to have some more, you know, description to them, but I forgot? Yeah, the one that just says crime definitely was supposed to have some more meat on the bone, so to speak, and it doesn't. Oh, I didn't even try there. The next one says Atlas Shrugged, but, you know, like the Ayn Rand? I don't care, she doesn't sort of have her name pronounced properly. But that book, but it's instead of like Atlas Shrugging, so it's like, it's not Atlas Shrugged in the past tense. It's Atlas, and then in parentheses, shrugged, as in Atlas, who has been shrugged. Oops. Okay, next one says 80s Music 16, and if you've listened to any music from the 80s, you probably know where this one's going. But this particular song that I was thinking of is Oh, whoops, what's it called? It's the Benny Mardone song. Into the Night, where it's like, it's a really good song. It sounds great. It's like, it's great to listen to as long as you ignore the first 2 lines. If you just ignore the first 2 like lines of the words in the song, then it's honestly, it's a great song. Because he does say that she's just 16 years old and he was like 35 when he wrote the song. And then that second death is Fish Fear Me. Because, you know, those hats that are like, women love me, fish fear me? And this is a bit that actually made its way into one of my videos once. But there's like the apparel that's like, women love me, fish fear me. This one, the idea was it'll be a set of apparel that is fish love me, women scare me. Damn it. This next one says Cheese Mouse. And Cheese Mouse is actually... So the idea behind Cheese Mouse is that, you know, mice eat cheese, and you can call them Cheese Mouse, you know, if you want to. Alternatively, a cheese, like, shaped like a mouse, but I was thinking of it like, hey, it's a mouse that eats cheese. Which really makes you wonder about Iron Mouse. Then there's estrogen-free birth control. I used to get ads for estrogen-free birth control, like, a lot for some reason. And it's amazing how one ad can be wrong on so many counts. Next one just says AI shrimp response. Oh, I didn't even try there. This one says, accidentally Giga BM'd a Magic player. I play Magic the Gathering sometimes. And in Magic the Gathering Arena, there are these little, like, response things you can do, where, you know, you click on, like, your character portrait, and then you can say, like, oops, or sorry, or your turn. And one time I misplayed, like, horribly misplayed. Like, should have lost the game because of this misplay. So I said, I did, like, the oops one, and so I just did oops, and then said, everyone attack that dude, because if I don't win right now, I lose, and I just misplayed, so I lose. So I just said oops, propped up oops on screen, sent everything to attack them, and then didn't realize that I was going to win. I think I had, like, a couple units with Menace or something like that. So I was like, oh no, I just basically said, oops, I'm sorry, I messed up, and then one-shot someone. No, that's dead. Oh, this next one is just, it's like a short list of things that it seems like my Twitter timeline is trying to get me to do. I don't even really use Twitter too much anymore. I'll check in on it occasionally. But for the most part, I don't, because, you know, let's be honest. But Twitter wants 5 things from me. They want me to take estrogen, say bow bow, learn Japanese, play Overwatch, and buy a fursuit. And fursuits are expensive, I don't care to learn Japanese, and I'm not going to play Overwatch. So, bow bow. I'm really sorry for this one, but I thought it, so I had to write it down. Planes really aren't that impressive. I mean, I have a cockpit too. Ugh. This one is just kind of goofy. It might end up getting cut out of the YouTube video. I'll leave this explanation in here, but it's a lot of words that are, you know, fine to say, but YouTube doesn't like. So, you know, it might not make it into the video. But it just says, saw a sick fucking butterfly doing, like, all sorts of tricks and shit. Yeah, that one I definitely can't say. This one, it says 2014 drill hits different, but I'm fairly certain that I wrote that down to say, basically, I'm pretty sure that drill got sold. Pretty sure that the original owner of the drill account either ran out of ideas or sold the account. This next one is a link to a post on X the Everything app. And let me read this out for you. And I'm like 90% sure that this is serious. I am 90% sure that this is not satire. My neighbor Rusty sadly died suddenly last year. His widow moved away and said her husband wanted me to have their snowblower. I guess he knew I would need it this winter. It was brand new. I don't think he ever used it. Awesome gift! Thanks, Rusty. #RIP. And it's just a video of him snowblowing his driveway. I'm running out of things in the Notes app, so I might have to give up on this soon. Oh. Okay, what's another one that I've got here? This one just says the hottest girl you know is smoking meth right now. You know, do with that information what you will. Oh, actually, I remember. That was because, whoops. I was browsing, r/meth on Reddit. Really funny subreddit, except for the fact that it's just a bunch of people doing meth. And there was this one picture of someone who's like, this is my body transformation after 6 months on meth, or something like that. And it was, I mean, they just, they lost a lot of weight. And that was literally it. And everyone in the comments was like, oh my god, you look so beautiful now. Probably gonna leave in the sick fucking butterflies doing tricks and shit, because I'd imagine that YouTube probably wouldn't like me talking about meth much more than they would dislike me talking about a sick fucking butterfly doing all sorts of tricks and shit. It says jump scared by a whale picture. Whoa! Okay, that one doesn't count. That was me clicking back into the game and somehow accidentally dashing. But the jump scared by whale picture is, I mute and block a lot of people on Twitter. Usually it's like, I'll block you if you're a bad person, I'll mute you if you're, like, a little bit annoying. And I saw a, comment that someone made, and then a response to it from someone that I muted, and then their response to that, which was, wildly different than what the original comment had anything to do with. So I was quite confused. So I clicked, I was like, this is a post from someone you muted. So I clicked the show, and it was just a big whale picture, and it kind of scared me a little bit. Next is Radical Centrist Warfare History. That was something that I saw in someone's Twitter or Twitch bio. I don't remember which one. And I was like, I feel like you are lying about the whole radical centrist thing if you say radical centrist and warfare history. You know, maybe not. But there tends to be an overlap between warfare history and a certain group of people. Especially if I saw it on Twitter. If I saw it on Twitch, I'd be more likely to believe. But people who are willing to call themselves centrists and people who really like warfare history tend to be lying about the radical centrist. Okay, well, you get two in a row there because I just forgot to jump. The first one is they hit a villager with a car. During all the teasers for the Minecraft movie, they hit a villager with a car. And then this just says lemon raspberry loaf, and I don't know if I have the lemon raspberry loaf image. I don't. I've got 8 reaction images saved. I say reaction images. I mean, this one is a picture. It's just Joe Biden's face on a black background, one of those quotes where it's a black and white picture of their face, and it says their quote, their name, and it's just him saying what. There's one where it's Salvatore Ganacci, specifically from Fatal Fury, handing you a joint. There's minor spelling mistake, which is, minor spelling mistake. Here's another one of Joe Biden, and it's a picture of him holding a gun in a lady's mouth. Obviously, it's edited. He's not holding a gun in the original. There's 8 fucking bears, which is a fake magic card, and it's just 8 bears. It's just a... I don't actually know how you, like, notate mana, but it's 1 green, plus 1. It's a creature bear. There's Burger. There's the Tokyo Burger Run shirt. It's not... Again, these aren't really reaction images necessarily, but they're in a folder called Reactions. There's the Doohickey, which is... So the Doohickey... The Doohickey is the schematic of the gun that was used to kill Shinzo Abe. And then it's hit the bricks. I've also got the image hit the bricks saved. Just walk out. You can leave. Work, social thing, movies, home, class, dentist, clothes shoppy, too fancy weed store, cops if you're quick, friendships, if it sucks, hit the bricks. Real winners quit. Those are my fun images. Which, you know, you wouldn't think that I would think about that based on Lemon Raspberry Loaf, but here I am. This one says really good point followed by racism, which is kind of like an extension of the, like, a lot of people online have opinions that I agree with, but they say them in, like, such annoying ways that it makes it really hard to agree with them. The person, not the point. Like, I still agree with the point, but they're really annoying. So as an extension of that, there's, you know, someone makes, like, a really good point that you really agree with, and they're like, but also the Jews. And you're like, okay, hold on a second, buddy. I agree with that first half, but you gotta cut that shit out. Oh, that's dead. And here's the last one. This is actually the end of my notes app. This one's not really like a bit or anything. It's just an observation. I saw some Japanese text that I wished to translate. So I went to Google, or not went to Google, but I right-clicked on it. And Google has this thing where you can, like, right-click on some text, and it'll say, like, translate to... Usually, it'll say translate to English, because I am English. Well, I'm American, but I speak English. My computer is in English. Everything is in English. But for some reason, I tried to translate a Japanese text by right-clicking it, and Google was like, oh, you want to translate that to Korean? And unfortunately, my notes app is dead. No, it's not. That's the notes that I have successfully transferred over to the computer, but I do still have some more that I have not transferred over to the computer. Okay, there's 3. One of them is a video idea that I had for a video, and then 2 of them are just like things that I thought. So here's the video idea. A lot of people have been talking about how health tanking in Warframe needs a rework. They're like, oh, health tanking's really bad, so it needs a rework. And what I wrote down is health tanking rework, and then in parentheses, your brain. So I was thinking, and I still might make a video that's like how I would rework health tanking. And it would be anyone who says that health tanking needs a rework, we rework their brain so that they stop talking about it. Damn. Okay, so here's another one from the Notes app. It's personal accelerationism. Which, like, you know, accelerationism, one of the descriptions of it is it's like the train of thought that we should, like, bring about the end times as soon as possible so that we can rebuild properly. So personal accelerationism is exactly what it sounds like. Ah, ran out of stamina. Well, this is my last one. I'll see if I have any other notes apps where I wrote anything down. But, you know Aphex Twin? Or do you know of Aphex Twin? Because if you know Aphex Twin, get a load of this. Aphex Twink. Alright, let me see if I have any more. Have anything written down here? It's a list of where all the circuit breakers in my house go to, but I'm not reading that one out loud. Oh, this one's for last year, not for this year, obviously. But this one says, why I didn't stream during Pride Month, and then in parentheses, too busy sucking dick. Okay, so I've got 2 more. I've got 2 more deaths in me where I can still give you a notes app phrase for each death. Yeah, like, here's another one. This one just says, are you happy now that your girlfriend is a robot? Okay, and here's the last one from the notes app. It says, shadows are people too. Ah, so close. Oh, I found another one! Yay! This says, this was the title of a video that I wanted to make, but I couldn't really think of how to make it. It just, it's the beginning of the end of the world, and then in parentheses, and Minecraft. Give it 10 more minutes to hit the 2-hour mark, 'cause apparently I love setting 2-hour time limits for Celeste challenges. Ah! You know, about 10 minutes ago, I said I'm gonna give myself 10 more minutes in order to reach the, like, arbitrary, just, like, 2-hour time limit there. And let me tell you, gun to my head, I don't think I could guarantee that I have said a single word since then. Like, I'm pretty sure I have. But I could not guarantee it.